Hello and welcome to The Blank Potato. In this video, we will be talking about 3 short horror stories, all of which are uploaded by Reddit user jsnow0223. If you want to learn more about the author, link in the description below. Before we start, I would just like to invite you to please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notification bell so you won't miss any of my future uploads. Let's begin. River Monster? It all begins on a vacation trip to Puerto Rico in the summer. I was so excited to visit my family and old friends. I made plans to swim in a nearby river. Then my friends told me of this story about people and adult alike disappearing from the river and never been seen again. I looked at them and asked, "Are you kidding me? So I'm not gonna be able to swim in this river due to a supposedly legend or something you're not sure if it's even true?" Well, I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but my ass is getting in this river, and you're welcome to do the same. It's my Veka bitch to screw it up talking about a thing drowning people, blah blah blah. So I went to the river and had fun in it like normal, while my friends were all cautious about getting in the water. They made sure to stay in the 3 feet and 4 feet area of the river, while I was in the deep end around 10 feet deep. While I was swimming, calling out to my friends that they're a bunch of chickens for not swimming in my area, something scraped me on the side as if something else is in the water. So I shouted, "Stop, you ass!" My friend said, "What?" When I looked, they were in the same spot and never moved. Then I told them something scraped me in the water. One of my friends got out and climbed the rock to see me overhead, and what he saw shocked him to the core. He saw a huge figure in the water, and to top the cake off, I was 8 feet away from it. My friend shouted at me, screaming to get out as soon as possible because I'm not alone in the water. Terrified, I started to swim, and my friend yelled, "It's swimming towards you now." I freaked out and swam as fast as I could till the shore of the river pond. I was so exhausted from swimming. My friend told me it was huge, that I looked like a baby next to it. I told my family members about it, and they told me not to get in the river again because indeed there has been people and livestock going missing in the past 10 years now. I asked them what could it be, but they didn't even know either. So one day, an old man was walking his livestock of cows to drink from the river, and suddenly, one of the cows gets caught by something and got submerged in the water, never to be seen again. The old man was furious and shocked by what has happened and reported it to the authorities. And when they started to investigate the river, they were shocked to discover that indeed there's a creature lurking in the waters. Never at the time has it been seen before. And the creature was an 18-foot crocodile. They have eventually captured it and found also its lair underneath the waterfall, where it dragged its victims and eats it by its pleasure. And to think it was so close to me gave me goosebumps and chills. I could have been one of its victims if it wasn't for my friend calling it out and warning me of something in the water. It was reported that some idiot bought the animal in the black market, and since it got too big, they dumped it into the river, so it survived eating whatever was near or in the water. I'm glad I'm alive. Please be careful where you swim. Make sure it's safe. Story number 2, Sleep Paralysis. This story takes place several years ago. As usual, I go to my room and get ready to sleep. When I'm lying on my back with my eyes closed for several minutes trying to fall asleep, when all of a sudden, I feel a weight on my chest. It's not a weight that won't allow you to breathe, but a weight that you know consciously it's not normal, and to top it off, you can't even move your arms and legs. So I'm laying there conscious of what's going on. Oh, let me add the bonus that not even a word can come out neither to call for help. So there I am, lying in bed, terrified of the situation I'm in, thinking to myself, what the hell is going on? And scared to open my eyes, thinking that something, not someone, is on top of me. I started to think before I can panic about any type of explanation of the state I'm in. And at that moment, I couldn't come with any solution until I remembered when I was a young child hearing the adults talk about an alleged demon that stalks people with little or no faith towards God. So, as I was relentless to believe that's a demon, I kept remembering the conversation on that day, that the demon preys on its victims and puts pressure to feed on the fears the victims produce. And I remember saying that the only way to remove such entity off of you is pleading to Jesus for help. Obviously, I wasn't that much of a believer, but damn, I want this asshole off of me as soon as possible. So, I thought to give it a try, since it felt like an eternity staying on my back paralyzed. I tried to say, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you, but in that process, I couldn't spell his name, as it also tried to control my speech when it came to the Lord's name. I thought to myself, aha, I got you. I'm going to keep trying. All I can say was, and again, Jesus. Everything I said in my mind, but not his full name out loud, until I realized that I wasn't asking for help from my heart. So I humbled myself, asked for forgiveness, and tried again and again, until I finally said it right. In the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. As soon as I finished saying the whole sentence, it let go, and the weight on my chest left. Obviously, I was tripping about it and decided to call my mom and explain to her what happened. And she told me that it happened to her also. Has it happened to you too? Story number 3. Be careful what you wish to see. This happened to a dear friend of mine. I don't know if you, the reader, would even believe what I'm about to say, but here it goes. My female friend was really interested on any topic that consists of the supernatural and religion at most. I didn't have an issue of her beliefs as long as she didn't try to brainwash me into it. I already had my own beliefs, and I don't like messing with the unknown like she does. It's like a drive that keeps her going just to find out more of the unknown. Until one day, she called me and told me she bought a Ouija board and she wanted to play it with me. You know what I said? Hell nah, I told her. You better not play with that shit. You don't know what will come out to this world if you do. Then she brushed it off and said that she was just kidding. But obviously, I didn't believe her. That night, for some odd reason, her damn parents left her by herself. Mind you, she is no little kid. She's actually around 22 years old. But her damn curiosity is that of an 8-year-old kid, with no conscious thought of the consequences of any bad action she may take. So there she is, alone in the house at night, to top it off with the brand new Ouija board in her hands. Excited she was to try her new toy out, to see what can be real if anything actually happens. So I thought to myself, well, she has the board game, but she can't play with it on her own. Can she? I was so wrong, because I found out that she has invited some idiot friends that were willing to try out that stupid game also. Great. So, as you may know, they started to play the game and to invoke an entity to the living plane, and she did just that. While they were playing and asking this thing for answers and what it was, her friend looked at her face and noticed that blood was dripping from her nose, and they stopped playing due to fear creeping from the experience. To my friend, it was her first time playing such games, but to me, I've known people that has played with it, and they have told me their bad experiences due to it. Also, I researched it on YouTube and on the internet about similar stories of experiences from the game, and 97% it's negative. What happened afterwards haunted her to this day. She would be walking, minding her own business. Then she'll notice a shadow on her peripheral vision. When she turned to look, it was gone. Then she went to the mall and gone to a store. She looked around, and for some odd reason, she looked at this woman's face and notices that her face was not her face, as if it were shape-shifting into something horrendous. She quickly turned and left the store, terrified, with no explanation of what has occurred. She was walking on the street and saw black figures hiding in the shadows in plain daylight. She then ran to her house to find it trashed. Everything in the house was moved like a burglar came in and did a party, but no one took anything from it. Her parents came, and when they saw the house, they flipped on her. She explained it wasn't like that when she left the house, but they didn't believe her at that time. As they inspected the house, they have noticed the cross flipped upside down. They are a religious family and they quickly ask their daughter what the heck she has done. At first, out of fear, she said nothing, but eventually, she had to spill the beans and tell them the truth about playing the Ouija board to her parents. As you know, she got some sermons of the century from her actions, but it didn't stop there. Her parents tried to call for a religious priest to bless the house, but he wasn't available that night. So they decided to hold it off until tomorrow. When my friend went to sleep in her bedroom around 3 a.m., she started to hear some eerie noises from her bed. Then, before she could think of anything else, she felt unable to move from her bed, and the bed itself starting to lift into the air. She started to scream to her parents for help, and for their shock, when they opened the door, saw the bed with her on it lifted into the air, and the walls started to produce a black goo, and all holy items were thrown on the floor. Her parents tried to grab her from the floating bed until they finally reached her. Then they heard a deep demonic voice saying,
"She is ours."
They grabbed her and ran out to the house. They can see from the outside the property, lights flickering as if the whole house was possessed by an entity. They looked at my friend and told her how this wouldn't have happened if she just didn't tamper with that game. The next day, they finally got the priest to do an exorcism to the house, and they threw away the game for good. When she told me what happened, I told her, "That's why your stupid ass is going to stay single. If it was a horror movie, you would have been the first idiot to die." Well, she told me to fuck off, but I also added, "You think you're Van Helsing, bitch, acting all tough now, huh? Can you handle the unknown?" If you enjoyed those stories, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And click one of the videos right here for more horror stories like that. And as usual, I'll see you again next time.